All right. So, welcome to whatever this is. And what this is not what you think it is. Welcome to my reading corner. It's my little place where I read. Yeah. A lot of breath. Give me a minute. My mic stand won't hook up to anything, so I'm just literally holding the whole thing. You know, boom mic up here. Anyway. Oh. Books. They're what's for dinner. Have you ever thought that you could read? I bet you have. Maybe you're not able to. Maybe you are illiterate. That's okay. Have AI read to you. Just kidding. It's inhuman. It needs to be destroyed. So, I should probably start off with what this isn't. This is not going to be book talk. This is not going to be the same shit that you see on every other channel. These are basically reviews of the books that I have read or am currently reading. As you can see here with the Brothers Cabal and Johannes Cabal in general here. You can imagine this copy of the Hagakure is actually Johannes Cabal the Necromancer, the very first novel in the series, which is what we'll talk about later. You are going to get one-shotted by a lot of the same shirt here because I'm about to record multiple videos at one time. Anyway, I thought I would start out with what this is and what this isn't. Okay? So like I said, this isn't your grandma's book talk video, all right? We're not going to be reading all of Sarah J. Maas's literature or whatever the fuck her name is. We're not going to be reading everything that's recommended on TikTok because, again, I don't go on TikTok, so I don't know what the fuck they're talking about anyway. What we are reading are the books that I like, the things that interest me, the things that might interest you based off of the things that interest me that I'll be interesting you in. This is also not going to be your foray into overconsumption. Every single one of these books came from the library. I did not buy them. I probably will not buy them, but I do have ebook copies of them. However that came about, you can answer on your own. I do recommend a few things. Having an old tablet, doesn't matter what kind of tablet it is, and putting ebooks on it, and only ebooks. And only ebook reading programs that you can use to read ebooks with your eyeballs reading letters. I recommend getting a library card from your local library. If you don't have a local library, be the change you want to see in the world and start one. My library allows me to check out 99 books at a time. That's pretty crazy and a lot of books. If you have children, read to your children. Start now, start early, start often. Let's see. What else this is not going to be? It's not going to be highly edited. It's not going to jump around a lot. It's not going to tickle your attention span because that's not what this is about. This is about talking about books. And books, for the most part, are very slow. They draw you in slowly. They tease you, and then they kick you out at the end, and you're left saying, that's it? I want more. And a lot of the time, there is no more. Winds of Winter. I'm looking at you, George R.R. Martin. I have always been on this off-again, on-again reading kitsch. Lately, obviously, I have not been on social media or the YouTubers. I have been chronically offline. I have read almost 50 books this year and intend to read 50 more. It is much more pleasurable than doom scrolling, and it's nice to put yourselves in someone else's shoes sometimes. I read fiction and nonfiction. I have a plethora of different things that I have read, and we'll be going over most of them in this series. Clearly, I have the capability of jumping all over the place, so it may not be the types of books that you're always thinking of or that I'm going to go into, but I think that you'll find a little bit of value in every single one, as I have, which is what books are in general supposed to do. A little bit more of what this is not. Again, this is not going to lead you down hyperconsumption. You don't need a bookshelf full of books. Do I have a bookshelf behind the camera full of books? No. It is probably 2/3 of the way full of books. The rest of them are photographs, and thus not for your perusal. I have a small library outside where I used to film the rest of the videos, but I now spend a lot of my time right here in this comfortable brown chair reading. What I don't recommend: replacing everything with reading. I did that for a few weeks and nothing was getting done. I was reading 8 to 10 hours a day, finishing 600-page books in about a day and a half. And yeah, you still need to take care of your other responsibilities. You know. Yeah, so again, this is, you're not going to get highly edited videos. You're not going to get videos of books that you've seen on a regular basis. You're going to get bad jokes mixed in along with this, and some fun along the way, I hope. Maybe something will tickle your pickle in a way that makes you feel less than ickle. The first series that I'm going to go over is irrelevant because this is simply an introduction video. But if you take a look behind me again at the Brothers Cabal, you might take a wild guess at what the first few series are going to be. They're rather fun. So, without further ado, I just wanted to make sure that you knew what this was and what it wasn't. The things that I'm going to be grading these books on, let's discuss that. The difficulty of the text. Point of reference. Something like Dante's Inferno. Lots of Latin, lots of hard words. It makes it a little bit of a slog to read. Ivanhoe, Captain Save-A-Ho, if you will. Lots of Latin, lots of explanation of clothing, a little bit hard to read. So we're going to be gauging on the use of the English language and how difficult it is for you as the reader to absorb. It's going to be one of the main criteria. Superficially, cover art will also be one of the criteria. Did you actually take some time to create a lovely cover art? That's what makes it worth owning, in my opinion. I will, in the future, I believe, repurchase each of these books to have on my bookshelf, because that leads us to criteria number 3. Is this worthy of being owned by you, dear reader? And I think that that's an important factor, because frankly, some books can just go back. I'm looking at you, dead astronauts. Worst book I ever started to read and immediately gave back within a day. Glad I got that from the library and didn't make an impulse purchase. Books could be resold. Books could be donated. In the long run, I also highly recommend going to your local Goodwill to get books for less than $1. I'll go over some of my Goodwill finds as well as the future perturns. Is that even a word? It's not. As the future continues. Perturns. What? D. Seriously, guy. You're a little off your game. So let's see. Readability. Cover art. Should it go on your bookshelf? The plot, obviously, we should look at the plot. You know, we all read it and watch it for the plot. Which reminds me, you're going to find very little romantasy being reviewed on here because of obvious reasons. White male. Um, and that reminds me, did you check out the summer reading list that you should have been recommended by an AI article? Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, so the plot, the characters themselves, are the characters enjoyable? Are they worth reading? Do you care whether they live or die? That's very important in my opinion, especially with the current trend of just killing off main characters willy-nilly as much as you so wish as an author. We'll obviously try to explore the genre of what the book is. That's something that we'll look at as well. But I really want to keep it down to very few criteria. So far, we've got 5. We'll improv a few along the way. And I really think that that's going to be it. So, we'll put a small introduction in each video before it starts so that you know what's going on. If you do get an echo in this, because again, I'm not going for high quality because I don't give a shit. We're here to talk about books, not go over fancy pants things, to be highly explicative, explanatory. I don't know. Words are hard. That's why I read easy books. Just kidding. Some of the books I read are hard as shit. Case in point, if you want to expand your vocabulary, read the Johannes Cabal books. Which brings me to another fun point, that if you're reading it on an e-reader, sometimes you can just highlight the word and it'll give you the definition right there so that you can educate your noggin. Anyhoodle, that'll do for this first video. And we're going to go right into the next one and just start with Mr. Johannes Cabal.